Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all today? Good to see everybody again after a short time apart. Hello, Britt, Michelle, Vicky. Who else is joining in here now? Glad to see you all. And happy to be here today for this special holiday session that we're having. Got a little bit of a throat clearing going on. Hi, Ginger. So, excuse me. Hi, Diana. Ah, yes, the full moon. Thank you for bringing that in. And it's actually full moon in Gemini, which I am a Gemini sun. So, hi, Kiana. I am doing well. Hello, Haley. The full moon will be, I think, in about 12 or so hours-ish. And I'm in Thailand, so that will be daytime here and middle of the night, wherever you are, if you're in the Western Hemisphere. Hello, Mishi. So, yeah. Super excited to be joining you for this time. Also, just to let you know, if you do follow me in other places, I am only going to be live streaming here in Insight Timer for now, as that seemed to be the issue with the quality of the live stream not being so great, was the connection and just the bandwidth used. So it's better that I'm just streaming here. And also I am recording just my face on my computer, and I will be uploading that in another platform. And so you will be able to see replays there where I was live streaming before. So reach out to me, send me a message if you want the information. If you want to access this later, let me know by sending me a message here through Insight Timer. And this will be my first time doing this, so hopefully it'll be all good. So yes, hi Haley, Casey, Gemini Sun as well. Hi Judith, Angela, welcome. Yes, any other Gemini Suns in his house? Or if you want to share your astrology stats before we dive in. I love jamming out to astrology. It's fun. I love it. Hi, Jamie. Leo. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Oh, we got some other Geminis. Vicky. And yeah, Judith, May Gemini. There's a definite difference with all signs, right? Whatever sign you are, because they straddle the months. So, and me being a Gemini and having a focus on that, a May Gemini versus a June Gemini, it's a different energy. And also, if you know about the decans or decans, I don't know how to say it, DECAN, the decans in astrology, there's 3. And so depending on where you fall, it divides the month into thirds, or the sign into thirds. So if you're a first, second, or third decan sign, that also has an extra layer of meaning. I think I'm June 12th. I don't know. I'll just guess I'm in the second, maybe even third. So Deb, Gemini Moon, Kiana, Scorpio Sun, Cancer Moon, Leo Rising. A lot of watery energy, deep energy there. Hi Dakota, Cancer. Hi Rita, another May Gemini along with Vicky. Ginger. So what is in the second house? Is your sun in the second house or your moon? Or the moon is in the second house for you at this time. Got it. Yeah. So if you want to see how, and thanks for bringing that in, Ginger, if you want to see how this full moon in Gemini is affecting you personally, you can go to astro.com, or there's other websites, but that's the one everyone uses. Mostly professionals use that. You can you can pull up your chart. I mean, I can't walk you through, it's kind of complicated, so I won't walk you through it directly right now, but if you want to, you can try and figure it out. Pull up your chart, add the transits and current transits for today. You will see in astro.com, it's green around the edge, and it has the planets where they are now, and you can see where the moon is right now in your chart. So it's going to be, in different places for everyone. So I don't know where mine is because I didn't get that far. But yeah, that's a fun thing to do. So then you can see how this moon energy will affect you. And so Ginger said the full moon in Gemini is in their second house, which rules personal finance, self-worth, value. So yeah, there's so many layers with astrology. I love it. Yeah, somebody mentioned my coat. It's chilly here in northern Thailand. In the early morning, in the evening when the sun goes down, kind of like the desert Southwest, it reminds me of in the US, as far as it's not desert here, but the idea that, when the sun's not out, when the sun goes down, it gets cold quick. So in the mornings here right now in Pai, where I'm living, the day always starts with mist and fog. Not fog, but just overcast mistiness, and the sun burns it off, by about 9-10 a.m. So right now, morning, it's quite chilly. So hi Samantha. Oh, you're my opposite. I'm a Sag moon gem sun. So I love our combo. Judith looked up Decon 1. Hi Mark. Hola, ¿cómo estás? From Virginia. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Yes, Pai is a beautiful, beautiful place. Reminds me of home, which, in the U.S., for the most part, was the foothills of South Carolina. Same, but different. Very different, but also similar in Green Mountains. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Carmina. Hi, EJ. Thank you all for joining in. Hi, Kay, Mel. Who else has joined in? So if you are new to me here on Insight Timer, please give me a follow. Please give a donation if you'd like. And you can follow me everywhere, find me everywhere on the internet. Would love to have you and connect with you however you would like. And I'm a spiritual life coach and Reiki Master Teacher and intuitive. So today we're diving into a very important topic at this time. So we'll just dive into it. Hi, Tony. And please to keep me posted on the connectivity here. I'm extra mindful of it just because of, you all have seen it's been a bit up and down. So yeah, please keep me posted on that if it like bottoms out in a consistent way that's shitty. Hi, Julia. And Mark, yes, I thank you. I know you shared, it's been a few weeks, I believe, your brother's sudden passing, and yeah, that's difficult. So glad you're here. And hi, Chris, another June Gemini. I'm June 12th, if anybody is matching that. So we're going to be navigating the holidays, and even what Mark brings in about, the recent loss of their little brother. No matter how we feel about the holidays, if we like them, if we hate them, or anything in between, with loss and grief, that adds another layer of emotions and complexity to the experience, or it can. So, we can bring in that element to our discussion today as well. So what my intention for this time today is, I am going to be doing, my favorite tools that I love to use here in the lives, in the live streams, which are doing a message from the cards for the collective, for the group. If you're seeing this live, if you see the recording, it's for you. I'm also going to be doing Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. And so, the card messages are going to be advice. I mean, Spirit always gives some really great advice. And also, like, it's really, I feel like it's really clear and direct, and sometimes tough love advice, or, strong and powerful advice from Spirit. So that'll be directed around the holiday times and navigating that, and advice for you, as a collective. And then the Reiki is for, it goes wherever it needs to go for your best and highest good. And also my intention for this live today is that it will bring peace, healing, and ease to you during this time of the year. And the ancestral clearing I will bring in specifically around any past energies, any karma, imprints, burdens, just any energies from this lifetime, from previous versions of you, and or anything in the lineage, anything in the ancestral lineage. And this is going to be targeted around holiday times. We'll just see what comes up, but around families, anything, times where maybe there was survival. It's winter time in the northern hemisphere, so survival around being cold, not enough food. Hard times, dark days, anything where people were unkind to each other because of the time period, any dramas in the families, just anything heavy and icky that's ready to be released. And this is going to be for anywhere in the lineage, and that can be future as well. So the clearing will be for that at the end as well. So stay tuned as we dive deeper. And so who all here, how do you feel about the holidays? And holidays meaning anything from this time period, or even if you're American or Canadian or whatever, like Thanksgiving-ish time, even Halloween is kind of when the holiday season starts in the US at least. And in Mexico, that would be All Saints Day, Day of the Dead. So this time period from end of October until the new year. And there's so many holidays and traditions that encompass that. So anything in this time of year, like how do you feel about it? Do you love it? Some people absolutely love it. They love the celebrations, the gatherings, the decorations, the intentions, the festivities, and some are the opposite. So let me know where you fit in that scheme of things. Hi, Rochelle. Oh, wow. Okay. So thank you for sharing and reading your comments, everyone. And yeah, I mean, too, like, bring in the energies around, like, oh, like for kids, that could be a mixed bag if you're a parent, or maybe when you were a child, maybe you have happy memories or sad or tough or, anything and everything in between. So, Dakota, you used to love them, but now in between. I'm wondering what changed, if you care to share. Jamie, love it. Beginning of a new era in both excited and anxious. Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that and what everyone has said. Yeah, I mean, with loss, with grief, with being alone, lonely, depressed. I mean, if you celebrate holidays where there's gifts involved, that can add a financial pressure. Yes. Okay, Dakota. So just being in a general hard time. So it's not necessarily that something changed about the holidays, just in your life experience at this time, that it's a difficult time in general. So hi, Rita. Awesome. Yeah, so those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, when it starts getting dark earlier and earlier, putting up lights. Ginger, I love how that your idea, like your energy, your attitude of just being open to it being nourishing, and also working with all of it. Unspoken expectations, fog. So fog meaning, I assume, meaning fear, obligation, and guilt. So love that you brought the fog idea in, because how many of you around holiday times are in a fog? How many of you are in fear, obligation, and or guilt in this time? And does that fog, do you get lost in it? And if you've noticed that, how do you bring yourself out of the fog? How do you bring yourself out of fear, obligation, or guilt? Yeah, and I love what Kiana's saying about being okay that they're not excited about the holidays, and especially what you shared about the loss of your parents earlier in your life. I can definitely appreciate hearing that for sure. Yeah, and it's like, because what can happen is there's an obligation, and then it's like there's all this stuff on the outside, all the marketing, all of the consumerism stuff, all of the songs and the sales and the consumerism and the buying and those energies around. And it's like if somebody doesn't feel excited about that, it could be easy to then judge yourself, to be like, well, I should be happy. I should be shoulding all over yourself. So how many of you have noticed there might be some shoulding on yourself going on? And that's a judgment, right? So And I know we're all here like in this wonderful meditation app, so that you're on a journey of awakening and expanding your consciousness and doing the deep internal work, meditation, mindfulness, all of that stuff. So if you do notice the judgments, can you release them? Can you say, it's okay if I don't jump on the bandwagon. It's okay that I don't want to participate. Let's see. I surrender, Kiana says. Dakota says they haven't started the decorations when they used to love doing them. So this is a place where can you be okay that you're not okay with doing them, right? Because that's your reality and that's how you feel. So can you be okay that you're not okay? And that's a general good question for anyone in this holiday time. If they feel lonely, depressed, grieving, sad, can you be okay that you're not okay in this time? Jamie, we're doing whatever the hell we want. Hell yes. No, not being driven by fear, obligation, or guilt. Haley. Oh, beautiful. So having a mixed emotional time. Ginger. Working consciously on boundaries for clarity and safety. And then freedom. Yeah, I have heard it before, Chris saying they want to go to the islands. And I used to have that when I lived in the US. I just would have this feeling like I just want to get the fuck out. GTFO of the whole thing. But because I was in fog, and it's okay that I was in fog at that time, but my soul just did not want to participate in the whole experience. So, that's one reason why I wanted to have this live, because for me, the holidays were never a good time of fun and family and joy and togetherness. It just wasn't as a kid, sure, yes, and also, it was a mixed bag, but generally good overall. But then I became a drug addict and alcoholic when I was a teenager, and really things went downhill from there. And family was just, it was not a good time. I got sent to drug and alcohol rehabs at 17 years old. I was in rehab for a year. And just went on from there. And even when I got clean and sober almost 25 years ago, it's just been a time, and that's okay. And my family of origin is not, it's a dysfunctional place, and that's okay. We're all doing our best. And for me, I would always show up in fog in holiday times because it was expected. Even though I only felt anxiety and fear, I felt fear, obligation, and guilt over any sort of family holiday gatherings. And I went anyway, and that's okay. And now, almost 11 years living as an expat overseas, I am grateful that I am here, and I'm not participating, and that's okay. So, congrats, 14 years, Judith. Amazing. So let's see. Rochelle journals and meditates to get through. Beautiful. Angela, holidays are just another day. For me, that's how it is here. Living in other country, living in Asia, like It's obviously not at the forefront of celebrations. I mean, there is like commercialism here. If you go to malls, they have Christmas stuff up, but it's a marketing thing, you know. So, yep. So let's get some messages. And so the biggest thing to consider is, if you are, like, notice, is there fear, obligation, and guilt showing up for you? Do you feel you have to participate? Do you feel scared if you don't? Do you feel obligation? Do you feel pressure? Yeah. And if so, how can you extricate yourself from it? What can you do? So first is the awareness, the noticing, and then there's an invitation. There's an invitation after the awareness where you get to choose. So if any of you feel like you have to participate, that you have to do something, and I love that so many of you don't, and that's amazing. But if you feel you have to, you don't. And there are ways that you can set boundaries with love and strong boundaries to where you don't participate. Now, and then some of you may be alone, right? So that's another aspect or another scenario that could happen, is instead of feeling like, oh gosh, dysfunctional family, feel like I have to go, I don't want to, you can set boundaries around that. If you are more of like, I'm alone, either by choice or not, then what's the invitation there for you? If you're in that scenario, I can give you, my answer, but I'd like to hear from you. I just, one of the cards popped out. So, so if you are choosing to be alone, then how can you work with yourself to make it, how can you create the holidays to be what you want them to be? Because it's your choice, right? If you are alone, how can you be alone and have it be empowering, have it be impactful, have it be a beautiful, nurturing time of celebrating yourself? Because it can be really easy to get into self-pity and being a victim and feeling disempowered, right? So noticing if you have any of the mentality of these, disempowering beliefs and mindsets, right? If you notice that, you get to notice you have a choice. You can choose how you interface with the situation. And it's amazing, if you're choosing not to participate, or if you just, like me, like I'm just alone. I'm sure I could participate if I wanted to fly 10,000 miles, and I don't. So I choose to be alone, and I can choose to be in celebration about that. So it's in your mindset. So be extra mindful of your mindset, and notice if you get into lower vibrational energies of, contraction, and that you can choose to do that. And yeah, like Ginger said, having expectations ahead of time. So plan. If you know a certain day, if it's, one of the holidays, Thanksgiving, whatever, any sort of religious holiday you celebrate, and that energy of loneliness or isolation or feeling sorry for yourself might come in, then you get to be like, no, I'm flipping this, and I am choosing to make this a day of celebrating myself and self-care, right? So that's what you get to do, if that applies. Hi, Tim. So yeah, I left Bali, I don't know, 10 days or 2 weeks ago now. For the rainy season was starting there. So I'm up here in Thailand, and it's beautiful. It's the perfect time of year where I am right now. So Ginger had to deal with your mom after not going to see the family for Thanksgiving. So that's a perfect example. You know, when we get into these patterns of fog, of doing things out of obligation, doing things out of fear, doing things out of guilt, it looks like it might be easier just to go along with it, right? And just to be silent. But ultimately, we're betraying ourselves, and we're also storing that shit energy inside of us. So even though it's harder to actually set the boundary and to actually like not go to Thanksgiving or not participate in whatever the thing is, it is harder to set the boundary, but the payoff is much more rich inside, in our energy and in our physical body. Gabor Mate talks about like the consequences of being a people pleaser or of being codependent. And he gives like these, you know, example after example of people that have chronic physical conditions like autoimmune conditions and cancer, because they were living their life for everybody else. And they were not taking care of themselves and putting themselves first. So although it's hard to do, it's actually the best thing that we can do, although it's not easy. Yeah, so Rita, working on expectations. Angela. Hi, Karen. Yeah, that book, Body Keeps the Score. So yeah, so if there is any energy around like feeling sorry for yourself, notice how old you feel when that thought comes up or that feeling comes up, because that likely is the wounded inner child. That's that part that feels lonely, you know, wants to isolate in their room and, you know, feel sorry for themselves. So your job as your sovereign adult, empowered self, you get to parent that part of you. So if you notice self-pity energies, victim mentalities coming up, it's not about making yourself wrong for that. It's about noticing it and then giving that part, the wounded child, compassion and love, and telling them it's okay. It's okay you feel this way, and you're not alone. I'm here for you. And it's okay that you feel this way. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not bad. I love you. I'm here for you. Let's, you know, do something fun together. Let's color. Let's watch TV. Let's take a bubble bath. Let's take a walk. Let's play outside. Whatever that may be. Hi, Yvonne. Oh my gosh, Yvonne, that is definitely a sign for you. That your therapist mentioned the Body Keeps the Score an hour and a half ago. So if that sounds like a definite scream from the universe to get that book ASAP. So we'll get into the cards, messages from Spirit. The card that popped out of the deck, We Are the World. So this is, it's so interesting, of course. You can't make this shit up, as I always say. This is a card of family. This is a card of family, of legacy. And legacy always implies like ancestors, right? Legacy is like generational. There's an energy of generations about legacy. And it's like we are one human family. So when we are on this journey of awakening and taking care of ourselves in whatever ways that may look like, we're not just doing this one thing in this, like, it's not an isolated incident. If you set a boundary, like Ginger mentioned, not going to Thanksgiving, it's not just about that one incident. It's about the collective. When we choose ourselves, we're doing it for the whole. We're taking a stand for the whole. We're breaking patterns for the entire collective, because we are all connected and we are all one. So it's a beautiful message here. And so you can even consider that as well, if it helps to remember, it's ancestral, it's generational. When you do something different and you choose yourself in whatever way, you take care of yourself in whatever way that needs to be. Jamie, that's amazing about Thanksgiving birthday with your son. Beautiful. You had an ice cream cone. Oh, interesting, Kiana. Jamie. Yeah, so, the world and what's happening in reality in the 3D is really just an expression of what's in our minds and hearts as a whole, right? So it's a manifestation of what's going on inside all of us as a collective. So when we choose differently, when we wake up, when we love ourselves, when we forgive ourselves and others, when we stop judging ourselves and others, we heal on a collective level. So I'm going to get the Light Seers Tarot for just a couple clarifying cards, and then we're going to get into the Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. So if you haven't already, please follow me here on Insight Timer. Give a donation if you'd like. Follow me everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, website, all that good stuff. This replay will be on YouTube. Fingers crossed, I've tested it, so it will just be as a video because I'm not live streaming. It takes up too much. It makes the bandwidth too low for where I'm at right now. So, hi, Patriot Lady. Glad to see you. So let's see what clarifiers we have for this We Are the World card. Ooh, 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 ooh. Can't make this shit up. What do you need to walk away from? Ten of Swords. The traditional Ten of Swords is a very dramatic image of somebody laying face down on the ground with 10 swords in their back and blood coming out. It's a literal backstab and betrayal. This card is a softer message, but it's still the same energy, because the Ten of Swords is about a painful ending. A painful ending and a letting go and a moving on. I like this one better because it's more soft and hopeful, but it's implying as you're walking away, before the walking away, something shitty happened. So around this time, you may set some boundaries, and there may be loss of a connection, of a relationship. It may be temporary or permanent. So if you're going to set some challenging, scary, hard boundaries around the holiday season, it may you may lose the relationship or the connection, but it may not be permanent. So there's many people in here, I don't know for everybody because everybody's different, but somebody in here needs to hear that it's not going to be permanent. So it's a common like pattern when you stop codependent patterns, enabling, people pleasing, and start standing up for yourself and start walking away from what no longer serves you and choosing yourself. This is you choosing yourself, turning your back on old relationships, patterns, dysfunctions that don't serve you anymore. It might look like you're losing these relationships permanently, but the ones that are meant to be in your life will come back around. They will come back around. It might take a while. So what happens is when you set a boundary and when you start doing that, like in your life, people will get, of course, pissed off at you. They might not speak to you. They might pull away. But what happens is a lot of them will come back around after a period of time, and then they will respect you more. They will respect you and honor you in your boundaries and how you choose to interface with them. They will respect you more than they did before. And you'll actually get what you wanted in the first place, which was approval and validation on some level, right? Because we people please, we act out of fear, obligation, and guilt because we want to be liked, we want to be approved, we want to be validated, we don't want to be rejected, we don't want to be left out in the cold. So when you actually choose yourself after the falling away and the walking away, those that are meant to be in your life again will come back around at some point, and then it will be a whole different energy in which you connect again. So Jamie, blowing your mind. We've got two Jamies here, so so this card resonates. Interesting, Ginger, that you're having the experience that I'm describing. And also your mom said she doesn't want to talk for a while. So that's nice. And I kind of want to acknowledge your mom for not just saying like, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, that would have been more dramatic. That sword might have hit a little deeper, but she chose to be like, just not for a while. So that's a little bit of like reassurance, if you will. And regardless of however people show up, you get to take care of yourself, and it can be scary. I'm glad you need to hear the message, Yvonne. And this resonates, Kiana, but in a different way. So the collective readings are like this. If you want a one-on-one reading, then it's going to be personal to you. You can send me a message. She hung up on you. Well, that's not that's not a good way to react. And I mean, I guess you could say at least she emailed you and said she won't be in contact for a while, although I can imagine that could be very painful and activating to experience that energy, Ginger. So definitely can appreciate that. So I'll draw one more. So the Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is conflict with others. And in this card, it's really about a mental conflict with yourself, like fighting with yourself, having a war in your mind with yourself, disappointments, really just being in, I could just, I feel like saying just like a shit energy, just like... Yeah, so stay out of your head as much as possible. and get back into your body. And what I love about this card is, look at this back here. There's hope here, okay? And there's hope here in the beautiful light. The energy here of the sky. You're walking towards the light. This card is here to say it's not a one and done. It's not as two-dimensional as like, yep, boundaries and bye, and everything's going to be wrapped up in a shiny red ribbon. No, that's not life. So, but when you choose yourself, and when you get out of the stories in your mind and you choose yourself, you will be blessed, and you will. There's light here. Yeah, the moon, the Gemini moon. Gemini is about communication. So if you look at where this full moon in Gemini is hitting you in your chart, look at where there may be communication that's needed with others or with yourself around wherever it hits for you. Spirit's telling you to listen. Awesome, Yvonne. Oh, Britt, that's happening. Yeah, so in this deck, Ginger, it's the swords, but it's represented by these ravens. So there's 10 ravens here, there's 5 ravens here. That's the way the art is in the deck. So swords are air energy. So and it's about the mind. Okay, so there's going to be a period where you're going to go, this is going to, again, cause you to focus inward and reflect inward. Stop looking for validation outside of yourself. Go inward. Your light, the light and love you are seeking in others is inside of you. You get to be the light. You get to be that connection. You get to be your own source. Instead of giving your power away to other people, come back home into yourself. It's a journey, it's going up this craggy mountain. But this is necessary. So after this journey, you're going to go deeply inside, and that's where you're going to find your light. So, sorry, the app's kicking you out, Britt. So yeah, it's not an easy journey that we've chosen, and also we're ready for it. As a collective, we're ready. And this in traditional tarot is 10 of Pentacles. So it's like, it's blessings, it's abundance, it's leaving a legacy, it's having enough financial and material abundance to leave a legacy. So you'll be doing that. So let's jump into the Reiki and the Ancestral Clearing in these last few minutes of the session. Don't forget to follow me, give a donation if you'd like, reach out. If you want support, if you want coaching around creating new patterns, new possibilities, breaking free, send me a message. We can see if we're a good fit to work together. I've got a couple spots for coaching open, like 2 or 3, not many. I'm quite busy, so if you feel that, feel into it and reach out. Hi, what I forgot what you're calling yourself now. Friendly Paws. Hi, Friendly Paws. I see your pic. Good to see you. So let's dive deeper in these last few minutes. And this Reiki is also going to help you with some nervous system regulation. I'm feeling the collective, this energy of boundaries and holidays and pain body, ego, mind, limiting beliefs, limited mindsets. So let's soften, let's relax, let's release, let's surrender, let's let go. Closing the eyes. Just allowing this Reiki and Silvana energy to come in if you choose. Like a healing balm, soothing you, soothing the body, mind, spirit. You're never alone. So although it, might feel like you're alone in this journey, you're alone in setting boundaries, you're the black sheep and you're not complying with old patterns, you're not alone. You have your ancestors, your guides, angels, archangels, source. Your spiritual team is supporting you. And you are the one you've been waiting for. So that's a strong message coming in. You're the only one that can take care of yourself and reparent yourself when those energies of overwhelm, of self-pity, of feeling disempowered, feeling like you're a victim, when those energies come in, your sovereign self, your higher self, your empowered self gets to reparent the small scared part that feels that way. You get to soothe yourself. No one else can do that for you. And this powerful energy can assist you as it comes into your body, mind, spirit. Feeling the soothing, feeling the relaxation. Some of you are worried about the future. Some of you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders around, feeling worried, scared about the future, about what's coming. So spirit is there, source is there. You're not alone. And we're not in the future yet. So when the mind goes there, bring it back to present, back to now. When there's overwhelm around the holidays, back to this present moment. This is the only thing that exists. Staying out of what ifs, staying out of other people's minds. Get out of other people's business. Byron Katie says there's 3 types of business in the world: my business, your business, and God's business. Recognize when you're in God's business or in other people's business and get out of it. Come back to you and what's your business. Your business is you, what you are seeing, hearing, feeling, experiencing in this moment. So some of you get to stop being in other people's heads. Come back to your own body. How do you feel? Stop worrying about how they feel. How do you feel right now in this moment? Work with yourself and be with yourself now. Now we'll close with an ancestral clearing prayer. So take this in. If you like this prayer, you can hear the Master Prayer, a comprehensive prayer on my Insight Timer profile. You can play it at any time. Infinite Creator, source of all that is, for everyone hearing this message now, hearing my voice now, for all of our family members, all of our relationships, all of our ancestors and all of their relationships through all relevant time, space, and dimension, for all hurts, wrongs, judgments, burdens, especially around setting boundaries, around family dynamics, around expectations, around obligations, fear, guilt, around holiday season and times, now, in the past, present, and future. For all times there was struggle to survive. For all times that there was fear, obligation, and guilt, all times that you silenced yourself because to speak your mind could have been death by ostracization, ostracization from the tribe, from the family. For any time in the past where you or anywhere in the lineage spoke up and was left out in the cold, either to be punished or even to die. For any time there was stealing to survive, to provide, for any time there was letdown, any letdown in your life or in the lineage or in past versions of you, where there was letdown, betrayal, hurt, rejection, abandonment, for all times when as a child you felt powerless, where you had to be seen and not heard, where there was rigidity, where there was not safety or warmth. For all times you weren't nurtured, loved, supported, and cherished. Or all times you did this to another. For all of these times, all of these dynamics, please help us all forgive each other, forgive ourselves, forgive all people, and all people forgive us. Completely and totally, please and thank you. Please help us love and bless each other, love and bless ourselves. Be at peace with each other and at peace with ourselves. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. If you choose to come back to a wakeful state, you can now. If you choose to drift off to sleep or dreams or other realms, and you feel good with that, go ahead. Or you can come back just for a moment as we close. There's some closing announcements. Let's see. Oops, I can't do that right now. Thank you, Ginger, for your presence and participation. And everyone. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live daily series as a fun experiment. So it's going to be at some different times than I usually go live. So for some of you, it'll be in the middle of the night. So if you wake up, if you work in the night, if you can't sleep, or if you're joining from a time where it's not the night for you, please join in. And if you subscribe and follow me, then you'll get notifications. But I'm going to be doing a 30-minute very focused card pull with Reiki and clearing. So we're just going to dive right in, get a spirit message, and go into Reiki and clearing that's going to be really focused around whatever the card or cards are. So yeah, I'll be doing that for the next, starting tomorrow. For like 5 days. Yeah. And getting your feedback and how I feel about it. We'll see if we want to continue. Glad that you love it, Jamie, and thank you. So if you like my live streams, if they're powerful and beneficial, join in for that. I'm just looking at my calendar. And then we'll have our Saturday Night Live as usual. And join me in 6 days for a surrender circle on Michael Singer's teachings. And yeah, super excited about that. Stay tuned for me dropping more meditations here on Insight Timer, recorded meditations, some other lives, and yeah, other offerings from me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you all tomorrow if you choose. So follow me and you'll be notified of those. And it's going to be 12:30 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, that's that. So it'll be 12:30 p.m. Thai time, if that means anything to you, or Jakarta, Bangkok, Jakarta time. Thank you, Haley, Chris. Yeah, if you'll be awake, join and bring your friends. And yes, super happy to be here. Thank you, Kiana. And see you all very soon. Bye-bye.